So in terms of the United Arab Emirates, yes, there are other advisors in the space who are, super bullish on the Emirates. They think it's the greatest thing ever. And my assessment is more measured. It's not as superlative as other people would make it out to be. I mean, no, at the end of the day, nowhere is perfect. There's no space that is perfect, and every place has its pros and its cons, and that just makes sense. That's just kind of obvious, right? So everywhere has its pros and cons. So, I mean, the Emirates, it is generally speaking, tax-free. Generally speaking, tax-free, depending on your situation. But, of course, everyone is talking about the imposition of a corporate tax at 9% corporate tax, which may draw certain people depending on your situation. So again, generally tax-free, but you'd probably want to consult a tax advisor to make sure, given your unique fact pattern, that it is tax-free. So that's a huge draw. You have the first world benefits. You have that, the affordable luxury, as somebody was telling me. You have incredible living spaces, entertainment spaces, shopping, and it's a great hub because at Emirates, you're one flight away from most places in the world that you'd want to visit. So it's a great base. We've seen so many of our clients move there. We picked up so many clients who are there. It's probably our number 2 jurisdiction right now after Singapore. So I'm also a resident of, I have my Emirates ID. I've been a resident of the Emirates since top of 2021. So relatively recently, but long enough to know that I enjoy it. And we will be hosting an in-person event at Capital Club in the DIFC in mid-April. So have a look at our website. I think it's on April 11th, so just before the tax deadline. So we're going to be talking taxes to those who are based in the Emirates and they have certain questions. So anyway, huge fan of the Emirates, but it's not perfect. So one of the things that for me it's an issue is there's no clear pathway to citizenship. So for those who want, just the security and benefits that come from not just being a long-term resident, but by being a permanent resident or a citizen, if that's what you're looking for, the Emirates may not be for you. And, I've met many people who've been there for decades and they said, okay, it's kind of awkward that at any point in time they may have to leave, right? Or if their circumstances change. So that security that comes with being a citizen, that's generally not available. There are circumstances for exceptional individuals, but there's no tried and tested program. So that's the first thing, citizenship. Another thing would be banking. Banking is very challenging. Banking is challenging everywhere. So I'm not picking on the Emirates. Banking is challenging everywhere. But in the Emirates in particular, it is, and I get why the Emirates has been, the target of sometimes fair, but sometimes unfair criticism for being a center for, let's say, nefarious activities, right? So they want to clean up their act. They want to make sure they don't go back on any one of those blacklists or those gray lists. And in order to do that, they need to make sure that the banking rules are as tight as can be to make sure that people are conducting business affairs in a legal and reputable way. So I get why they do it, but it just makes it very difficult. Having said that, at a point in time where we're all sensitive to the stability of banks, if you're Googling and you're looking for rankings of the most stable banks in the world, you're probably not going to see any of the banks, the indigenous banks in the Emirates available on that list. But if you're in Singapore, then definitely the 3 main banks in Singapore, CBC, DBS, UOB, would be in anybody's list of the top banks in the world in terms of stability. They're just easy to deal with and they're rock solid, according to the stats for people who do this sort of ranking. The Emirates, not so much. So there's a banking issue. There's also a confidence issue. Not so long ago, there was an economic crisis in the Emirates, and as a result, they had to be bailed out this is in Dubai in particular. I'm talking about there was an economic crisis, and it had to be bailed out by Abu Dhabi. So for those who've been there long enough, for the newcomers, they have no memory of that. For if you hang around with business people that lived through that time, they will tell you what it's like, and it was kind of it's really scary. So, I put all that together and say that money does not like uncertainty. And to a large extent, things in the Emirates are relatively uncertain. But I mean, there's no certainty anywhere. Black swan events can happen to anyone, any place, anytime. But the Emirates, just generally speaking, is it's somewhere to proceed with caution in terms of making it the center for where you store your wealth in particular. So just to recap, no pathway to citizenship, banking, recent history of instability, and general uncertainty. Those are the key 3 or 4 reasons why I love the Emirates. I look forward to being back there in a couple of weeks, but I proceed very cautiously in terms of storing wealth and things of that nature. Hope that answers your question.
So if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure investor, entrepreneur, or business owner who needs a tailor-made solution from a qualified team of professionals, we can help you achieve the international lifestyle, the freedom, and even the tax savings you're looking for. Visit us at htj.tax and live that international life.